Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and kiddies, thanks to Ride Tech here in Pasig City, Philippines, and Royal Enfield, Philippines. And today, I will be taste testing this very nostalgic bike. It's the Royal Enfield Continental 650 GT. So, this bike is one of the 650 twins of the Royal Enfield line. One is the Interceptor, the one that has the standard handlebars, and this one with the clip-ons, the Continental GT. So, let me get it on. Oh, very nice, very compact. Alright. Before we go, ergonomics check. I'm 6'3", 200 to 220 pounds, with a 35-inch overall in-seat with a size 13 foot. And so far, it has a slightly aggressive riding position. So this might reminisce you to some Ninja 650 or Ducati Scrambler Cafe. So let's start it up. Let's see the instrumentation here. Okay, the gauges are very well laid out. It has digital fuel gauge, an odometer, flasher right here in the yellow side over here. There's no gear shift indicator, so you gotta be very dedicated to ride this bike. Or if you're an old school fan, this might be the bike for you. Very smooth. I was expecting it to go shaky bit. It has some delay on the throttle, so we might see. Alrighty, let's get it on. Wow, I really like the smoothness of this bike. The throttle is very smooth. The gear shift lever is very tactile, easy to modulate too. The rear brakes is very responsive. Rev battery takes a little getting used to because the way this engine revs, it revs on a slow side. And the gear lever has very little resistance. The spring resistance is very light, but the clutch bites right at between 90 to 95%, so just be careful on that one. Okay, this is the dead end. Let's make a U-turn. So far on my legs, my legroom is kind of cramped a little bit. Oh, well, of course I'm a big guy, and one thing I noticed on the side of my knees, I hit this part of the engine right here. So as you can see, when my foot is up, it hits right here. It's not flushed in right here. It sags a little bit, but it's okay. This is a classic theme bike. So let's go. The front brakes has a little bit of a play, but it's very tactile once you engage it. Kind of tricky to rev match because of the clutch engagement and its slow rev factor. It's easy to ride actually. The seats are it's very comfy. But since this is a taste test, I cannot say the long distance ability of this seat, but it's very well supported for city riding like this. And of course, this is not like taste testing in the US where I got a whole lot of area to ride at. But one thing's for sure, I will test this bike It's my ability. Yeah, the clutch is a little tricky because the engagement is so It's too close to full release. And let's do a second lap. Filtering and lane splitting this bike is pretty easy actually, which is nice. In fact, I'm not that used to riding clip-on type bikes like this. But low speed maneuvers, even though this is a heavier bike compared to some that you're used to if you're coming from a small bike, this bike is a little easier to handle. I'm getting used to the bike. This is the second and last lap for me. The engine is very torquey. Once you get used to the lack of gear shift indicator, it's pretty easy bike to ride actually. I don't know if I prefer the Continental version over the Interceptor version, but I prefer upright seating position. The brakes are very powerful. Low speed maneuverability is pretty good. Vibrations, nothing on my butt, nothing on my legs, but there's a slight hint of low frequency vibrations on my handlebars. It soaks up this road imperfections really good. Liking this bike already. All I need is a gear shift indicator. Yeah. I really like to have a bike that has a gear shift indicator. Let's see how it can filter compared to smaller bikes in general. The legroom for me is a little bit cramped, but so far so good. One thing I really like about this bike is the way it handles the bumps. Low speed maneuverability is very good. So I'm just gonna make a nice U-turn here. Pose for the camera a little bit. And there you go. We're back at the Royal Enfield booth at Ride Tech. So, closing ceremony, neutral, off. So the kickstand is kind of a tricky to look from my angle. So you gotta look for it. And there you go. It has little resistance on it, so it's easy to engage. And there you go, the Continental GT 650. Some nice details around it. Look at this. This is all metal. Well, there's some plastics here and there, like the switches, but this is metal, this is metal. Oh, yeah, that's metal too. See, it has an oil cooler right here. It has spoke wheels. I think this one has a ABS too. It has a generic, it says, I can't pronounce the suspension, but it has an external reservoir here. The suspension is very well compliant on road imperfections, and it basically looks like a cafe racer at some degree because of its, look at that straight line over here. That's a trait for a cafe racer, like a Triumph Bonneville or some Ducati Scramblers. And of course the pegs is a little bit towards to the back, so it has some traits of a sport bike, and the clip-ons too. So it's a very classic looking bike and very competitively priced. See, it has the Vibri brake system, front and rear, yeah. That's from a RC KTM RC 390. It has the same brand of brakes. Yeah, my legs hit this part. These two parts of the engine right here. And overall, I kind of like it. My mom would love this because she prefers a riding position like this, semi-aggressive, but not too aggressive. So there you go. The Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 twin cylinder. Just follow my Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and my website, Lapid.com. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.